Welcome to We Teach, my dear students, and the fundamentals of computer science. Today we are going to learn about the hardware. The hardware represents the physical components of a computer, that is, components that can be seen and touched, and they are the physical components. And what are the examples of hardware that we had? Input devices, output devices, secondary storage devices, and internal components like CPU, motherboard, RAM, and secondary storage devices like hard disk, CD, DVD, output devices like printer and monitor, and input devices as keyboard and mouse and some other input devices. And next one is software. Software is a set of programs which is designed to perform well-defined functions of computer. A program is the sequence of instructions written to solve a particular task or particular problem. There are two types of softwares. They are system software and application software. Whereas the system software is, the name itself depicts that the software or the set of programs that are needed for the functionality of the entire computer. See, the system software is collection of programs designed to operate, control, extend the processing capabilities of computer itself. The next one is system software is generally prepared by the computer manufacturers, so it is not by the user. That means the general users. These software products comprises of programs written in low level language and which interact with the hardware at every basic level. That means system software is used for the interaction between the hardware components of the computer, and system software serves as the interface between the hardware and end users. It acts as interface between the users and hardware. And some examples of system software are operating system, compilers, interpreter, and assemblers. These are the system softwares. And here we have some list of important features of system software. They are like this: close to the system, whereas it is fast in speed, difficult to design. That's why general users cannot design the system software, and difficult to understand. A general user cannot understand this one, only the manufacturers, and less interactive, small in size, generally written in low level language. And next one is application software. Generally we can term it as the user defined software, whereas system software is the predefined software. Application software products are designed to satisfy the particular need of particular environment. Application software are, again, we can classify it as two types. One is the software designed by the user, or the applications that are given to the user for performing user needs, that means user actions. All software applications like the spreadsheets, the worksheets comes under application software, and the applications prepared in the computer lab can be under the category of application software. Application software may consist of simple program such as Microsoft Notepad for writing and editing the simple text. Like this, applications that are developed in the computer labs are called application software. It may also consist of collection of programs often called as software package, which work together to accomplish a task. That means to perform a task they are given. For example, consider a Word book is there. That means Microsoft Word. It is the application that is used to enter the text, edit the text, and make some operations. That means formatting the text, and we can print the text. And spreadsheet, that means Excel sheet. You can store the generally statistical data can be stored in that one. And Notepad, generally for word process, general normal text messages can be written in the Notepad. For example, for presentation, we have MS PowerPoint for presentation of data. These are different kinds of applications that are designed to fulfill the user requirements. So they comes under application software. General examples of application software are given here. They are payroll software, student record software, inventory management software, income tax software, railway reservation software, and Microsoft Office suite software that gives generally word processor, spreadsheet, Excel and PowerPoint. That means that I have shown here. That means under the Microsoft suite. Next one is another software is there, that is utility software. Apart from the system software, application software, another one is there, utility software. Application software that assists the system software doing their work is called utility software. And thus utility software is actually cross between the system software and application software. Examples of utility software are antivirus software, disk management tools, file management, compression tools, backup tools. So, my dear students, these are the softwares that are available in the computer system. They are application software, system software and utility software, where utility software acts as an intermediary between the application software and system software. Next, we are going to have the study about the peripherals. The peripheral devices, that is defined as the computer device such as keyboard, printer and the parts that are connected to the computer are called the peripheral devices, and the auxiliary devices intended to be connected to the computer and used. That means auxiliary means externally devices. Next one is, what is meant by device driver? What are the peripherals that are connected to the computer? They need to be ready to use, ready to be interacted with other devices, then only they are usable. For that one, the device that is going to be connected to the computer, that peripheral that is going to be connected to the computer, for make it as ready to use, we need device drivers. System software that controls the monitor and functioning of specific device on the computer is called device driver. And each device like printer, scanner, microphone, speaker that are attached to the computer, they are having their own specific device drivers, and they are then only they will associate with the functionality and the working of computer. And what are the peripherals? That means different kinds of peripherals that are there in the computer system. Peripherals can be external or internal. There are two kinds of peripherals, external peripherals and internal peripherals. Examples of external peripherals that we can see out of the system, that means not as internally parted, they are called mouse, keyboard, printer, monitor, external zip drive and scanner. These are the external peripherals. What are the internal peripherals? The internal peripherals are CD-ROM drive, CD-ROM and internal modem and some other internal devices like hard disk drive, and these are comes under internal peripheral devices. What are the input? An information or data that can be sent to the computer for processing is considered as the input, and user gives the input and sent through the input devices. The picture is an illustration of difference between the input and output. Here input is from the input device to the computer, output is from the device to the output device. Next one is output. Any information that is processed and sent out from a computer or electronic device is considered as output. As I said earlier, not only the computer, a device or an electronic device which acts as taking the input, storing the data and processing the data and generating the output, they are also considered as the computers, and the result that are given as output, that given by the electronic device, can be considered as output. An example of output is anything viewed on the computer monitor screen, such as words that we type through the keyboard from the input device. Without some type of output, that means can see and feel, or hear, human could not interact with the computer. That means without having the input and output devices, we cannot complete our operation with the computer system. And another one is storage. Under peripheral, next one is storage devices, alternatively referred as the digital storage device or the storage media or storage medium. And a storage device is like any hardware capable of holding the information either temporarily or permanently. Either temporarily or permanently. Next one is, there are two kinds of storage devices as we discussed in the previous lesson. They are primary storages and secondary storages. Under primary storages, RAM and ROM are there. Under secondary storages, hard disk is there. Next one, to connect all these peripherals to the computer system, we need some connection socket. In general, we term it as a socket, but here in computer, it is termed as the port. To make the connection of external peripherals to the computer system, that means to the processor, it is called the connector between the external device and the computer is called the port. The communication point that acts as the interface between the computer and external device like mouse, printer, modem, and they are connected to the computer via port. Ports are of two types. One is internal port and external port. Internal port, it connects the motherboard to the external device like hard disk drive, CD drive, and internal modem. That is, which is inbuilt, those ports are available on the motherboard to connect the internal peripherals. To connect the external peripherals, we need the external port that which we see on the back of CPU box. It connects the motherboard to the external devices like external modem, mouse, printer, flash devices, and different kinds of other peripherals. Here on screen in the picture, you can see different kinds of ports, either internally or externally. See this one, Centronics parallel port, dual link DVI, serial port, USB, optical audio, toslink, HDMI, DVH, and these are the audio, S video, component video, and Firewire, VGA, that means graphic cable, Ethernet, and 3.0 type B jack. That means these are different kinds of ports that are used to connect the internal as well as the external peripheral devices to the computer. So my dear students, in this video we learn about the hardware and software components and peripheral devices of a computer. Thank you so much.